Hello, my name is Peter Chernicost. I'm your GIS digital specialist, and today we are talking about teaching Standard 6, Economic 6, for 6th grade social studies using Inspire and the Georgia Department of Education atlases. So we're really looking at the economics of Canada, although what I'm going to show you today can apply to all of the standards for the most part that you need for 6th and 7th grade social studies. So the learning targets for this video are to understand how to access the Georgia Department of Education Atlas through Inspire. So I'm going to take you through the process of using Inspire to actually get in and access these atlases, which were designed last year and just have a wealth of incredible information and lots of things that you can do with them. And then I'm also going to take you through how you can utilize that atlas to effectively teach SS6E6. So we are going to look at the economics of Canada, but as I mentioned, these atlases are designed for 6th and 7th grade Georgia Department of Education, the standards. And so you're going to see how you can use the atlas that you access through Inspire to teach a plethora of standards in really meaningful and engaging ways. So let's get into Inspire. So when you access inspire.gadoe.org, it might start you on a different page. Right now, it's starting me on the resource repositories. Depending on where you were last on this website, it might start you on courses or it might start you on home. But we are going to access our resource for today by clicking on courses. So here I'm going to click the courses icon. And I may need to click on social studies. It might have math or language arts set up. So I'm going to find the social studies square, click on that. And then as we are looking at 6th grade, I will select the social studies 6th grade. But if you are a 7th grade teacher, or maybe if you teach both and you want to look at those atlases, it's pretty much the exact same way. You may also need to click on middle school up here to see the 6th grade box as well. So we're going to click on 6th grade. And from here, you can see that I've been on the Unit 8 Canada today. It might start you on course-wide. Wherever it does start you, we are going to click on Canada Today to access this particular atlas. So when I click on Canada Today, it's going to bring up all of the resources that exist for this unit. And so from here, I'm going to click on Additional Resources, and there is a link right in Inspire to the Latin America and Canada GIS Atlas. When I click on that, it will open in a new tab, and this atlas is incredible. And there is one of these for each region in 6th and 7th grade social studies standards, and there is just a ton of information that you have access to here. So as you're thinking about planning next year, use this atlas. It is going to be much better than any paper atlas you have, as you can get students access to this. They can log in, or they don't even need to log in. They can access this atlas, these maps. You can create your own things. They can go in and click around if you want them to. All you have to do is give them the link that you find once you click on Inspire. So you'll see at the top, it starts with a reference map, and each of the atlases will. So here again, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. Over on the right, you're going to see layer list, and you're also going to see a legend. If you want to click on the legend, there isn't one for the North America reference map, but it would show you everything that is for the legend. And then if you click on layer list, you'll see the list of layers for this reference map. There's not much, as this map really is just designed to give you kind of a frame of reference focused on the particular region for those standards. I'm going to just kind of click through these real quick so you can see everything that is part of this incredible portfolio collection. And then we'll dive into the economic and political map, which is what we're kind of focusing on. So here you have a South America reference map, very similar to the North America reference map. You've got the physical map, which has all of the things that students need to know from the standards highlighted. So again, when I'm on the physical map, I click on layers, you'll see that there are cities over 1 million, the rainforest ecoregion, and you can, as I've said, you can display this on the screen and kind of go through this together, or you can give students some freedom as well. So you've got the physical things that students need, you have the demographic data that students can get into and do some comparisons with. Clicking on the layers again, you'll see all of the different layers that exist, and again, coming directly from the standards. But what we're going to focus on today is the economic and political aspects of the Americas. And so here you can, with your sixth graders, do a number of different activities. You can have them compare and contrast. You can split them up into groups. When we click on the layer list, you'll see that there are a number of different layers like GDP growth, physicians, per capita PPP, which is currently what's set up, percent of products imported, World Banking rankings, and then there's a base map where if you want to turn that on, you can. The other really awesome thing about this particular atlas is that there are certain countries that are listed in the standards, and so this atlas is designed to kind of highlight those. So you've got countries to locate. These are the countries that students need to know where they are. And then there's also countries to compare, and this map highlights the different countries that the standards ask to compare. But we're looking at Canada today, and so what we are going to do is just kind of look at GDP per capita, PPP, to start up. And so if you click on the legend, you'll see that this gives you the GDP per capita based on the different colors. So you can ask students their thoughts on maybe why these countries, certain countries, have higher GDP than others. You can also click on a country. So we're going to click on Canada, and we're going to pop this out. And we're going to see that the per capita is 48,400. The percent urban in Canada is 82. And then this also gives us labor force labor force by sector. So you see secondary, primary, and tertiary in the different labor forces. And if we click on this, we can actually get GDP per capita from 1990 and then 2021, so we can see growth. And so this is just going to give you an opportunity to have some really great discussions with your students, maybe about why a country like Mexico's GDP isn't as high, right? Why South America versus North America is different. And then you can start to go in and turn layers on and off. And when you do that, you can start to get a sense of maybe some connections. So this physicians layer is pretty interesting. Again, we're going to click on turning the physicians layer on. We're going to click on Canada. And then here we're going to get physicians per 1,000, infant mortality, maternal mortality, life expectancy, and literacy rates. And so you can start to ask questions about students like, are there connections between these things? Do we see infant mortality lower where we have more physicians? And again, you can compare this to some other countries. Maybe click on Peru and see what their infant mortality is, and maybe start to ask questions why, and use that as a jumping off point for students to do some research. Then the next one that I really like is the percent of products imported. And so here, when I turn this on and click on Canada again, so I've turned the layer on, I've clicked on Canada, I'm going to pop this out. These will actually give me a sense of the percent of products imported. And it's also going to tell me what percent of the goods traded by Canada are imported and how many people they are importing and exporting to. And so again, here is a fantastic way to get students to read graphs and charts. And then you could use this as a spot to jump off as well. All right, so here we see Canada is importing 4,534 products from its 222 import partners, and it is exporting just a small amount less to its 223 export partners. Let's dive into this. Let's use this map. Let's use this data to get a sense of who their import and export partners are. And so this map gives you the data, and then you can have your students do some research and really figure out and find out the specifics. And so here we can also see World Banking rankings. And as I said, I know we're focusing on Canada, but there's a lot of comparison, which is just such an important skill for social studies. So we can look at Canada's World Banking ranking, and there's all sorts of good information here, growth rate, infant mortality again, and we can compare that maybe to what's going on in Brazil. Why is Brazil not as high? And let's look at the legend. Why is Brazil upper middle and Canada high? Why is Central America lower middle and Canada high? And all of these questions, students will probably ask as well. So if you just display this map and this legend, You can ask them, what do you notice? What do you see? And so this atlas is a phenomenal tool for you to get students thinking about geography and sociology and history all in one place. So that was teaching Social Studies 6E6 using Inspire and the GaDOE atlases, looking at the economics of Canada. Thank you so much for joining me today. And please do not forget to follow us on social media.